Hey there guys, this is Richard, your host, with another marvelous video. This time, most disgusting intergalactic villain ever, Mojo Origin Explained. Mojo is a recurring villain in the X-Men comics. He was created by writer Ann Nocenti and artist Arthur Adams. Unfortunately, he often gets overshadowed by other top-tier X-Men villains such as Magneto, Apocalypse, Sentinels, and Juggernaut. However, Mojo happens to be an extremely unique villain with a motive that differs a lot from the regular take over the world and assert dominance trope.
To compete in this week's exciting episode of Mojo's Hunting Ground!
Mojo made his first appearance in Longshot number 3 in November 1985. His character parodies network executives who are willing to go to any lengths for TRP and higher ratings.
Only 70 billion fractals.
I am awesome! But can you do something about that fourth chin?
He is a tyrant who rules the Mojo World, a dimension obsessed with television. He tries to enslave the X-Men so that he can make them the stars of his TV shows and gain more popularity with the others. Basically, Mojo is exploiting the powers of reality TV to strengthen his political position. He's probably calling his show Keeping Up with the X-Men.
I am a genius. Get Mojo the X-Men!
This video intends to bring him into the spotlight and make him the star of his own TV show. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
And in return, all I ask is that you survive at least 52 minutes.
Most disgusting origin of Mojo. Mojo is an alien supervillain who comes from an extra-dimensional and extra-temporal realm called the Mojo World. In this world, the populace consists of semi-humanoid beings. The nature of their world is unique in a way. When it intercepts the radio and television signals from Earth, the signals get distorted, scatter through the timeline, and bombard the brains of these beings, slowly driving them insane. Because of this, they've developed an immense love for televised entertainment, but they also hate and fear humans. It took them centuries, as per their time, to figure out the source of the transmissions.
That stinks. Who's afraid of dirt? No. We'll call it Danger World. Yeah. No. Wait.
Mojo's race could not stand upright and, as a result, did not evolve enough. That is until a scientist named Arise came into the scene. He developed exoskeletons for these semi-humanoid beings, and it triggered a fast technological revolution. And yet, some of them refused to use these exoskeletons and dubbed themselves to be the spineless ones. They would use motorized platforms for transportation. They also demanded slaves who would work for them as they ruled, so Arise used genetic engineering to create humanoid slaves for them. The appearances of the slaves were based on the nightmares of the spineless ones, which were basically the television characters from the distorted signals transmitted from Earth 616. However, they were oblivious about the fact that Arise had secretly planted seeds in the genetics of the slaves to eventually take over Mojo World and rule with justice. After he refused to build weapons for the spineless ones, he was banished. The television industry influenced the power structure in this world, which went on to be ruled by Mojo, an obese robotic monster with legs like spiders. He named their universe Mojoverse and their world Mojo World, acted as leader and controlled the slave trade. His followers included dog-like metallic creatures called Wild Ways. He has a chamberlain, an android named Major Domo, who is extremely loyal to Mojo.
God, we're gone. God! Get your guys down to wardrobe. Come on, we're burning daylight.
One of his slaves, Longshot, rebelled against Mojo's rule and escaped to Earth after having his memories removed. He allied himself with Doctor Strange and Ricochet Rita, and together they defeated Mojo, who sent bounty hunters to Earth to capture Longshot. When Longshot returned to the Mojo World to free the slaves, he was captured by Mojo.
Really had to go in there, didn't I? Okay, joke's over. We can all go home now.
Mojo gained an interest in Earth and captured the mutant Psylocke. He implanted bionic eyes in her body, which turned out to be interdimensional cameras that Mojo used to record and broadcast everything in Psylocke's line of sight. She allied herself with the New Mutants and the X-Men and became an X-Man herself. Mojo sent Longshot to Earth, who became a member of the X-Men. Mojo wanted to turn the X-Men into children and make them his slaves, but with help from the New Mutants, Mojo was made to flee again. However, Mojo realized that his association with the X-Men garnered top ratings from the audience, aka the spineless ones in Mojo World, making him more powerful politically. When the X-Men were presumably killed by the adversary, Psylocke's broadcasts that had made Mojo so politically powerful stopped. His show lost its lead cast, so he created adorable, chibi clones of X-Men. These X-Babies helped fill this gap by giving him the greatest ratings ever. He also created Avenger chibis later. However, the X-Babies rebelled against him. Longshot returned to Mojo World with Mojo 2, an upright and human-looking clone of Mojo. He deposed Mojo and tried to flee the slaves and make Mojo 2 the ruler, but Mojo 2 turned out to be evil, like his predecessor. Longshot then defeated Mojo 2 as well, and Mojo reclaimed his position as the leader.
Whoa! Change it! You cold.
Why they call Mojo the most disgusting villain. Mojo, with his abnormal physical body and unusual antagonistic characterization, is often dubbed to be a really disgusting villain. However, he wasn't originally supposed to be an enemy of the X-Men. Writer Ann Nocenti had created him for the Longshot miniseries, and Mojo was supposed to be a foe. Only to him that the story eventually set Mojo up to be a potential foe to Doctor Strange. Nocenti then introduced him to the New Mutants orbit, and he has been there ever since. She based Mojo's character, taking into account the criticisms of media theorists Marshall McLuhan, Walter Lippmann, and Noam Chomsky. McLuhan held ideas about the proliferation of television affecting humans and society as a whole. He believed that it would create a negative aftermath, which Nocenti referred to while creating Mojo World. The philosophical edge used while creating Mojo helped birth this mad television executive persona. Mojo's design is one of the most iconic things about him in comics and cartoons to depict obsessed viewers with eyes forcefully kept open to prevent blinking or falling asleep. With wires holding Mojo's eyelids open and a spineless body, his character design is a real horror show.
Like the blue one, I must have them all.
Artist Arthur Adams also took inspiration from the 70s sci-fi movie A Clockwork Orange as he illustrated Mojo. In the movie, Malcolm McDowell had eye clamps similar to those of Mojo's as he was brainwashed. It eventually scarred his corneas. Televisions have often been referred to in several negative connotations all over the world. It has been called an idiot box and a device that rots your brain. Mojo literally embodies that notion, but in his case, it's hyperbolic and on steroids. Whenever he leaves Mojo World to come to Earth, he exudes an anti-life field, causing everything around him to die. People turn to dust, plants wither, and natural disasters begin to occur. His toxicity makes him a walking wasteland.
I, Mojo, programmer to the galaxy, present our contestants tonight.
What makes Mojo so dangerous? Opposing a group of powerful mutants obviously requires an enormous amount of strength. His anti-life field that makes him a walking wasteland is a terrible feat in itself, as it kills everything in its way and alters weather patterns in the worst ways possible. But that's not all that he can do. He can project concussive force bolts, control the minds of others, increase his power over them via television ratings, and he can teleport across dimensions.
I'm sorry, you're just not popular enough to star in your own vehicle.
However, ever since he stripped Spiral away from her interdimensional powers and sent her back to Earth 616, he lost his ability to dimension hop as freely as he used to. Mojo is also a powerful sorcerer, but the limits of his magic and sorcery remain unknown. Similarly, he has superhuman strength, the limits of which are unknown as well. Aside from his arsenal of superpowers, he's cunning, a master manipulator, and exceptionally good at coming up with evil schemes and plots. He has vast manpower under his control, and he can call upon them whenever he requires assistance. He also has access to vast technological resources. Mojo wields a mechanical tail attached to the back of his carriage, which can warp and fly. This tail shoots laser stingers.
Any we've ever encountered. Wolverine.
Creative and terrifying versions of Mojo in various forms of media explored. Mojo is an underrated villain in the X-Men verse, but he has garnered a place in several forms of media thanks to his interesting character design and unique character in general. X-Men the Animated Series boasted Mojo's first ever appearance in media as he appeared in the episode Mojo Visions. He then appears in another episode called Longshot. Here, he was voiced by Peter Wildman.
I've just had the most brilliant idea. I, Mojo, will lead the expedition myself.
He then appeared in Wolverine and the X-Men as a sub-villain. Charlie Adler voices him. In Marvel's Avengers Assemble, Ralph Garman voices him in the episode Mojo World. Mojo has not appeared in a live-action film yet, but he's referred to in Deadpool 2. He has made several appearances in video games such as the Marvel Contest of Champions mobile game, X-Men, X-Men Children of the Atom, X-Men Mojo World, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. What did you think of Mojo? Did you enjoy this video? If yes, then don't forget to like and comment on the video. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.
Well, that's our show. Good fight and good night, everybody.